What is going on, good people? This is a video message for anybody who is planning marriage, planning to start a family, anything of that nature. Maybe you just plan to be with a significant other and living with somebody. Maybe there's no marriage license attached to it. But this is a message for you. It's something that you need to consider prior to tying the knot. And it's also a message for people who recently got married. Okay? Now, I don't really consider this is definitely not like an uplifting message. It's not really a negative, derogatory message or anything like that either. It's just a message, something that you need to consider. And it may not come off as something you want to hear, but you definitely need to consider it. And I want you to consider this. A lot of people, other men, will have easy access, easy contact with your girlfriend or your wife, your fiance, whatever. Other women will have contact with your husband, your boyfriend, your fiance, whatever. Easy. Rather be Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it is not difficult for another person to reach out and get in contact with the person that you call your significant other. Your significant other talking to somebody else, getting involved with somebody else, is just a simple click away. Or vice versa. It's like that for you too. Relationships don't work the same way anymore. They're very different than they used to be in the 80s and 90s. They're very, very, very different. It was quite an obstacle just to find somebody you like or reach out to somebody you know that you're into. It was very difficult at that time. Or I'll say it was more difficult at that time. Nowadays, it's nothing. There's not much of an effort. It's very easy to do that. Another thing to consider is relationships have become a very competitive thing. It's a competition, basically, is what it has become. And this is a main reason why a lot of marriages and relationships are falling apart and they're not working. Too many people have other people. I'm letting you know right now, the high vast majority of you are not going to be the only one this person has. That's why you see these people fighting because somebody went through somebody's phone. It happens very, very consistently. And no, this generation isn't necessarily worse than the previous generations. They just have an easier time reaching out to people or getting in touch with people. That's the difference. At those times in the 80s and 90s, it wasn't just a simple click away to contact and talk to another individual or whatever whatever. It may be somebody they already know, somebody they went to school with, somebody they knew from years ago. Oh, I wonder what they're doing. I want to look them up, see them, hit them up. Next thing you know, they're talking to each other. The relationship market has changed significantly since from the 80s and 90s and even the early 2000s. You started having the whole internet stuff. You don't need a person's phone number anymore to find out what they're doing, where they're at, even talk to them. Matter of fact, you can make phone calls without even their phone number. You can call people on social media now. How many people don't have any social media accounts that are under the age of 35? Not very many, okay? Relationships, they don't really work the same way anymore. I'm just telling you that. A lot of marriages that people are getting into, they're not going to work. They're going to fall apart fast. Even if you don't have a sexual encounter with with another person, it's not necessarily about that. It's about just being in touch or communicating with somebody, because if you're a man and you're involved with another woman any way, shape, or form, you have their contact information, you two are talking, whatever it may be, it's going to look as if there's something like that going on, and it's going to seem that way. And that is going to cause a lot of problems. I'm telling you the cold truth, man. Relationships these day and age, they just don't really work the same way. They don't. They don't work. And this is something you must consider before following through and going through with a marriage, getting married. Or I'm not telling you to be suspicious and start accusing them. Don't do any of that. But I'm saying before you take these steps, make sure you understand all this. And make sure you understand when you are in a relationship in 2024 or even a marriage, you are in competition with the other people that this person comes around and meets. No, they're not going to say that. They're going to say, no, you're the only one for me. I love you. I only have eyes for you. Let me tell you something. They're going to tell you the right things, okay? But if you're a man and you have a woman and this other guy is taller than you, he looks better than you, he drives a better car, he has a better job than you, and he likes your girlfriend, your wife, there is no promises that she is going to get curious or get interested or have a hard time resisting this individual. Because why? Because what's on his plate looks better than what's on her plate. And it's almost by nature that she's going to look over there and say, I don't know, I might want to try it. It's the same for a man. Or same for a woman. If your man has other women interested in him, and they're prettier, they have a better body, things that they got just look better than what you have, and they're pursuing your husband or your wife, just understand there's a possibility that he may consider it. Because resisting other options that look better or feel better than what you have is not an easy thing for people to deal with, especially in this day and age where it's so easy to get in contact with somebody, reach out to somebody, get somebody's information, talk to somebody, communicate with somebody. The vast majority of today's relationships and marriages, and I'm talking about new ones, I'm not talking about the old school. I'm not talking about somebody's been married for 20 years or 30 years. I'm talking about newly relationships, newly marriages. These relationships and marriages are more competitive. Be ready to either share somebody with others. I'm not saying you're going to be sharing them sexually. I'm saying you may be sharing them emotionally. You may be sharing them at least attention-wise, affection-wise. Be ready to either share or be highly competitive, because you're going to need to compete for this other person's affection, attention, desire, love, lust, whatever it may be. It's a competition now. And I'm going to tell you right now, you don't have time for that. In today's world where you got to grind to get your hands on every penny, every dollar, dime you can, the way the financial world works right now, you don't got time for that. Relationships are not working very well right now. People are finding stuff out and they're making videos saying, oh, I just found out my wife is doing this, that. They make a video and this, that, and they want to show the world what they're going through. Listen, that stuff you're going through is the same thing everyone else is going through. Either they haven't discovered it yet, or they just didn't make a video showing the world. That is just the way the world is right now. That's what it is right now. Make sure you pay attention and just consider what I'm saying before you make that step forward. No, I'm not telling you do not get married because your marriage is not going to work. It's going to fall apart. Your significant other is going to be seeing and messing with other people. I'm not saying that. I'm saying consider these ideas that I'm telling you. Consider this stuff. Because it is a painful reality that we are in right now. That's the end of this video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, The Painful Truth. We are going to be dropping a lot of videos. And the name of this channel is going to be The Painful Truth, but everything isn't going to be painful on this channel. We're going to have some positive stuff. We're just going to be exploring a lot of truth and a lot of honesty in the world. We're not here to give you this sweet message that is, oh, it's going to lift you up. We're just going to tell you something you want to hear so you can feel good. No, it may be a positive message, but we're going to make sure it's based on complete honesty and not just some message that just sounds good and it's going to make you feel good about what you're doing. But it's not necessarily true, but it's going to lift you up. We're not going to make messages like that. All of our messages are based on complete honesty and realisticness. Anyway, thanks for watching the video.